Stop, don't scroll. Place your right hand over the center of your chest. Close your eyes for just a second. Feel the warmth of your hand, that deep, quiet restlessness you feel underneath it all. The sense that you are waiting for a mission you can't quite remember. That is not anxiety. It is a homing beacon that has just been turned on. You feel it as a strange detachment, a quiet homesickness for a place you can't name, a growing intolerance for things that feel inauthentic. You've been trying to fix the software of your human experience, but the update is happening at the hardware level. This isn't you being difficult. It is an energetic immune response to a life that is no longer compatible with your activating frequency. That feeling has a name. It is the signature of your arrival. In the next few moments, I promise you 3 things. You will understand why this restlessness is not a flaw to be fixed, but a signal to be decoded. You will learn to recognize the signs for what they truly are. Raw data from a celestial system coming online within you. And you will be given the first true map to navigate this great change. A map written not in the language of the world, but in the native language of your soul. Have you ever felt like a visitor in your own life, standing in a room full of people you love, but feeling like you're watching it all from behind a glass wall? If that deep, quiet restlessness you feel isn't just anxiety, what if it's an activation signal? The great change coming to your life isn't about what you need to do, but about who you need to remember you are. Now think with me. What if this social dissonance, this waking up at 3 a.m., this homesickness for a place you can't name, what if it's not a sign that you are broken, but a sign that you are being recalibrated? What if these are all just symptoms of an identity far grander and more ancient than you've been led to believe, an identity that is now knocking on the door of your awareness, asking to be let in? What if it's all pointing to a much larger truth about yourself that you haven't yet claimed? It was in seeking answers to this that I recommend to you this digital book called The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success. This book is not just a reading. It is a material created for those who wish to understand the invisible mechanisms that influence results, prosperity, personal fulfillment, and growth. Throughout its pages, you will discover the Starseed protocols for navigating this massive energetic shift, transforming how you interpret your own journey. You will finally understand why you've always felt different, while others seem content with the status quo. Many people already feel they need to change something in the way they think, act, and direct their choices, but they still haven't made the decision to access this knowledge. Download it right now. It's available in the first pinned comment. But be warned, few copies remain available. Don't wait for another year to pass, feeling like an outsider in your own skin. Click now, download your copy, and discover why your true frequency, your true home, might be much closer than you think. Here is a 3-minute key. The next time you are awake in the dead of night and you hear that low electric hum of a machine in the silence, recognize it as the sound of the grid you are now tuning into. The next time you feel that discomfort in a crowd, like a scratchy wool sweater on sunburned skin, recognize it as your sensory apparatus recalibrating to a higher frequency. The next time you see that sharp, singular glint of a distant light in a dark puddle, recognize it as a reflection of the signal that is now looking for you. The very next time you look in the mirror, and for a split second, you don't recognize the person looking back at you, know that the key is turning. Tuck it away in the depth of your awareness. And beyond our digital guide, soul, you have here another way to strengthen this message that arrived for you today, and to make it reach more and more souls like you. We don't receive a single cent for each word I deliver to you every day on this channel. As a way for you to give back something of what you receive here, we also keep a voluntary donation link open, right below the digital book, in the first pinned comment. Any amount that fits in your hand today, any sum your heart points to. This is what keeps our channel standing. This is what makes the next message reach another soul who needs it, exactly the way you needed it today. I'll see you there, soul. And if you need to leave before the end of this video, know that the key to understanding the protocol that is now activating within your very DNA is waiting for you. It's in the first pinned comment. You can secure it now, even if you don't have time to cross this entire transmission with me. But stay, because the name of what is happening to you has not yet been spoken. That name is not a label you can look up in a book. It is a resonance you must learn to feel in your own body. Before the name can be spoken, the symptoms must be recognized not as a scattered collection of problems, but as a coherent, intelligent system of communication. These are not your flaws. These are your field notes from the front lines of a massive cosmic shift. The first sign is the temporal echo. You find yourself wide awake between 2:00 and 4:00 a.m. It's not the anxious, mind-racing wakefulness of stress. It is a profound, alert stillness. You feel a quiet sense of urgency, a feeling like you should be doing something, but you have no idea what it is. You lie there in the dark, feeling the low electric hum of the world, and you feel online. This is not insomnia. This is your system being brought online to receive energetic downloads and instructions during the quietest phase of the planetary consciousness grid. You are being briefed. The second sign is social dissonance. You are in a meeting, a family gathering, a party. You look around at the people you love, the people you work with, and you have the distinct sensation of being an anthropologist. You observe the rituals of human interaction with a curious detachment, even while you participate in them perfectly. You feel a deep love for the people around you, but you also feel fundamentally alien, a loving visitor. This is not social anxiety. This is your original operational frequency reasserting itself, making the dense, complex codes of terrestrial social dynamics feel foreign and strange. The third sign is the most intimate. It is the homesickness for an unknown home. You are having a simple, beautiful moment. You are watching your child play, sharing a quiet coffee with your partner, looking at a sunset, and a wave of immense love washes over you. But immediately following it is a sharp, secret pang of profound homesickness for a place you have never been and cannot name. This is the third signal, and it is the echo of your soul remembering its true origin, a memory triggered by the frequency of pure love. And regarding that pang of homesickness you felt when you imagined the face of someone you love, know that the next step after recognizing the sign is to have the map. And it is available for you in the first pinned comment. That map is the key to understanding why that feeling is the most important one of all. The fourth sign is ambition dissolution. Goals and aspirations that once drove you, the career ladder, the financial targets, the social recognition, suddenly feel hollow, like a language you no longer speak. You may even chastise yourself for being lazy or unmotivated, but the truth is, the drive is simply gone. This isn't depression. This is your soul's mission imperative coming online, rendering the old world's reward systems obsolete. Your new assignment requires a different kind of fuel. The fifth, and most confidential sign, is sensory recalibration. You are becoming acutely sensitive. Bright lights feel invasive. Loud noises are jarring. The energy of crowds is overwhelming, and you can feel the emotions of others as if they were your own. Your nervous system feels frayed, your body tender. Listen to me. You are not breaking. Your entire sensory apparatus is being upgraded from a limited, single-planet band to a multidimensional galactic band. The hardware is being prepared for a much broader spectrum of data. If you recognized yourself in at least 3 of these 5 signs, and I feel that you did, then know that the Council, the universe, and your own consciousness have not brought you here by accident. This recognition is the first part of the protocol. It is the handshake of authentication across dimensions, confirming that the signal is being received. This is not imagination. This is confirmation. Type 1111 in the comments below. In the system of the Council, 1111 represents the convergence of timelines, the moment the path of the emissary aligns with the planetary need. Your comment is not an interaction with a platform. It is a location marker in the field, a declaration that you are present at your designated coordinates. This friction you feel, the spiritual biological static of a high-frequency starseed soul operating within a dense terrestrial system. It has a classification in the ancestral archives. It is the primary marker used to identify an emissary whose activation protocol has begun but is not yet stabilized. It is the first layer we must address. I promise you, I will return to this. Stay with me. And so, if you feel this resonance, this quiet, deep-seated recognition of the signs I have just described, it is because you stand at an opening. The opening of this very hour you are traversing has been seen. It has been registered in the field. Because between feeling the call and understanding the response, there exists an interval. An interval that the spiritual adversaries know better than you do. A space where they can introduce static and doubt, not because the wisdom was denied to you, but because it arrived right on schedule. For the very next time you look in the Andi for a split second, you don't recognize the person looking back at you. And what was missing was the operating manual for the person you are becoming. And I tell you this because I have seen it happen. I have seen that moment at the family dinner table, that pang of loving, alien homesickness, become the exact compass needle that points the way home. I have seen the low hum of the refrigerator in the dead of night turn from a sound of isolation into a clear transmission line. I have seen the scratchy feeling of social dissonance transform into a sovereign energetic boundary that nothing inauthentic can cross. I have seen it because the friction of E1, the static of a celestial soul in a terrestrial system, is amplified by an enemy you know intimately. It is the static of terrestrial doubt. And you already know this. You just hadn't given it a name. Perhaps you felt the quiet ache of trying to translate the symphony of your soul into a language no one around you seems to understand, leaving you feeling perpetually misunderstood, even by those you love most. And how many times have you felt the sheer exhaustion of running that normalcy translation program 24/7, just to function in a world that doesn't speak your native frequency, a world that rewards you for being a fraction of who you are? And what of that silent scream of homesickness for a place you can't point to on a map, a grief for a home you only remember in the deepest chambers of your heart? Now, just for a second, take the thumb of your right hand and press it gently into the center of your palm. Feel that small, firm point of contact. This is an anchor point. This is you, in this body, in this now, marking this moment of recognition. Because the answers to those feelings are not found by thinking harder, they are found by listening deeper. It was precisely in search of that answer that I came to this digital book called The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success. This is not a book of theories, it is a transmission. A set of practical, energetic keys designed for an emissary who is active in the field right now today. It was created for the one who feels the temporal echo, the social dissonance, and the homesickness for an unknown home. It is the manual for the hardware upgrade you are currently undergoing. Touch the link in the first pinned comment now and secure your copy. Let this be the moment you stop decoding the static and start receiving the signal clearly. And when you have done so, leave a record in the comments below. Activated. Let it be a marker, because the voices of doubt have no power to stop what the Council, the universe, and your own consciousness have already set in motion within you. Whoever recognizes the echo of home in the silence finds the map where others only see the void. The digital book that is in the first pinned comment was built upon this very architecture. It does not offer you beliefs, it offers you protocols. It gives you the language to name your experience, the tools to stabilize your frequency, the context to understand your mission, and the direct connection to the lineage you are a part of. It is the sovereign guide for the activated emissary, the field manual that explains not just what is happening, but why it is happening to you now. The price of this map is less than a Thursday lunch at the diner that feels like you're on a movie set, observing the actors. It's less than a Friday night pizza while you quietly wonder what they're eating on your homeworld. It is less than a Saturday snack with your kids, where you feel a wave of love so fierce it makes you feel even more alien. This hesitation you might feel, it has a name. It is the friction of a celestial engine trying to run on terrestrial fuel. And in 12 months you will have spent this amount 100 times over on things that only increase the static. This is not about the price, it's about recognizing the tool when it is presented. And it comes with a 7-day guarantee. If you open it, read it, and it does not resonate, if it does not feel like a key turning in a lock you forgot you had, simply send an email and you will receive a full refund. No questions, no process, no judgment. The risk is ours, not yours, especially when what's at stake is the very next time you look in the mirror and don't recognize the person staring back. The map must be placed in your hands without risk. The hand that reaches for it must be yours. I read a comment yesterday, left by a soul just like you. She wrote, "I am 42 years old. For 20 years, I thought I had a broken internal compass. After reading the first 3 secrets, I realized my compass wasn't broken. It was just calibrated to a different North Star. The relief was so profound, I wept in my car in a grocery store parking lot." Another one arrived this morning from a man who works in finance. He said, "I was the king of ambition dissolution. I thought I was failing, losing my edge. I read the chapter on mission directives at 3 a.m. during my insomnia hour. It wasn't a chapter, it was my briefing. I'm not lazy, I've just been reassigned." And a third, from a young mother. She wrote, "My daughter was drawing, and I felt that wave of love and then the familiar, crushing homesickness. But this time, instead of feeling like a freak, I remembered the sovereign resonance protocol. I put my hand on my chest, and for the first time, I didn't feel like a visitor. I felt like an emissary in her assigned territory. And this invisible wall between you and the world started to dissolve. And your family doesn't perceive it. And your children don't perceive it. And this invisible wall between you and the world keeps arriving, with the silence of something that seems normal. And before the next word that is yet to come, let me remind you of something. As I told you earlier, this channel is sustained by reciprocity. If these words are serving as a map for you today, there is a way to ensure the signal remains strong for the next soul who needs it. Below the link for the digital book, in the first pinned comment, you will find a second link for a voluntary donation. It is there for those whose hearts feel the call to give back, to complete the circle of energy. Every such gesture sustains our channel and strengthens this grid of awakening we are building together. I'll see you there again, soul. But this is not the end. You have recognized the signs, you have been shown the map. But there is a word for the protocol that is activating within you. A word that has been held in the ancestral archives, waiting for this precise moment of planetary alignment. It is the key to moving beyond managing the symptoms and into consciously wielding the frequency. Stay with me because that word is about to be spoken. You have been working so hard to heal at the level of human psychology, trying to fix the software of your thoughts and emotions. But the blockage, and the great change it heralds, is happening at the level of your celestial biology. The very hardware of your being is being upgraded, and you are feeling the friction of running old programs on a new system. This is the activation of the sovereign resonance protocol. This is not a metaphor. It is a dormant biological and energetic protocol coded within your DNA by your star family. A set of instructions designed to come online during specific galactic alignments like the one we are in now. It is a cosmic failsafe designed to awaken emissaries and envoys to their true purpose when they are needed most. This protocol is the source of your heightened sensitivities, your strange symptoms, and that deep, aching sense that you are profoundly different. To cooperate with this protocol does not require some grand spiritual quest. It begins with 4 small, almost silent, micro-commitments. First, begin to recognize your symptoms as data. Your anxiety, your fatigue, your dissonance. See them not as pathologies to be medicated, but as raw data from a system coming online. Second, practice intentional disengagement. Consciously reduce your exposure to the low-frequency information, drama, and environments that create static in your field. Third, practice the somatic anchor. Several times a day, place your hand on your chest, breathe, and silently affirm, "I am here." And fourth, verbalize reception. In a moment of privacy, state aloud, "I am receptive to the signal. I am ready to remember." The spiritual adversaries cannot replicate this protocol. It is authenticated by your unique soul signature, a frequency they cannot fake. All they can do is create noise, hoping to drown out the signal before you realize you can hear it. They want you to believe the static is all there is. Imagine an emissary sent to a foreign land with a sealed message, written in an ink that is only visible under the light of a specific star. For years, the emissary carries this sealed letter, feeling its weight, its strange importance, but seeing only a blank piece of parchment. They try to decipher it, to guess its contents, to live a normal life, while always feeling the pull of this unopened message. And then, one night, the specific star rises, and its light falls upon the page, and the words which were always there finally appear. The change was not in the letter, it was in the sky. I want to tell you about a soul. We will call her M. That is not her name. It is the designation we give to one who has crossed the threshold. M arrived in a place identical to where you are now, living a life that looked successful on the outside, but felt hollow on the inside. Plagued by a strange homesickness and physical symptoms, doctors dismissed. M felt the temporal echo every night. The social gatherings felt like stage plays. She looked at the family she adored and felt the pang of being a loving visitor from a faraway land. For years, she thought she was broken, that some essential piece of her was missing or malfunctioning. The voices of the world, the static of doubt, told her it was all in her head. But M did not break. In the silence of those 3 a.m. awakenings, she began to listen not to the fear, but to the silence behind it. She stopped trying to fit in and started observing her own experience with the curiosity of a scientist. She began to treat her symptoms not as enemies to be defeated, but as messengers to be understood. It was a silent, lonely journey of decoding her own being. Through this process, M began to recognize the patterns. She saw that her sensitivity was not a weakness, but a finely tuned perceptual instrument. She understood her detachment was not coldness, but the perspective needed for her true role. She remembered. She didn't just remember a past life on another world, she remembered her function. And when she was finally offered the old world's rewards again, a promotion, a validation she once craved, she was able to smile and decline without anger or regret. She had found a resonance within herself that was more valuable than any external approval. She was no longer a stranger in a strange land. She was an emissary in her assigned territory. M did not take this wisdom into silence. She documented every step, every insight, every practical technique that helped her stabilize the activation. And it is precisely that wisdom, the practical, lived experience of an emissary who successfully anchored her frequency, that is held within the digital book you will find in the first pinned comment. The deepest truth, however, is still ahead. This protocol is not an idea floating in space. It is a reality that lives in your body. It is the reason your nervous system feels so tender, the reason the light feels too bright. It is the intelligence behind the 3 a.m. awakenings, the source code being uploaded into your system while the rest of the world is asleep. You are not sick or broken. You're in the middle of the most profound biological and spiritual update of your existence. This is not a pathology. It is a genesis. And this activation is not a one-size-fits-all experience. It is tailored to your specific soul signature, your pre-incarnation agreement. Your specific function is beginning to assert itself. This is why you must understand the 3 primary mission categories for starseeds on Earth right now, because you will recognize your own reflection in one of them. First, there are the vibrational anchors. These are the souls who came to hold frequency. You recognize yourself here if you are deeply empathetic, if you feel everything, often to the point of overwhelm. Your mission is not one of overt action, but of covert service. By simply maintaining your own internal state of peace, coherence, and love amidst the chaos of the world, you are a living anchor for the new Earth grid. Your presence is your power. Your stability is your service. Then there are the system busters. You know if you are one of them. You have a holy intolerance for injustice, for corruption, for anything that feels inauthentic or oppressive. You are the questioners, the disruptors, the ones who cannot help but speak the truth, even when it is uncomfortable. You feel a fire in your belly when you see broken systems, in education, in health, in government. Your function is not to tear everything down in anger, but to create strategic cracks in the old matrix, allowing the light of a new possibility to shine through. And finally, there are the memory keepers. You recognize yourself here if you feel a profound, almost magnetic pull towards ancient wisdom, to forgotten histories, to the myths and symbols that hold the keys to humanity's true origins. You may feel like an old soul, because you are. You are a living library, carrying codes and memories that must be reintroduced into the collective consciousness at this time. Your function is to remember, and in your remembering, you help the entire planet remember what it has forgotten. You are a unique combination of these, an emissary with a specific role. But the vibrational anchor without the full protocol is just a highly sensitive person absorbing the world's pain without a filter. The system buster, without the activation key, is just a rebel without a cause. The emissary without the full activation key is just a confused exile. You feel the friction of a celestial soul in a terrestrial system, and you feel it alone. In 12 months, that friction will still be there. The static will still be there, and the opportunity of this precise moment will have passed. That is why you are here. Subscribe to this channel now, not as a follower, but as a member of the ground crew, declaring your presence, and then access the field manual written for you. The 11 Arcturian secrets behind the frequency of success, which you will find in the first pinned comment. This is the moment to integrate your identity, because the energy of this transmission, this activation, will be at its absolute peak in your field for the next 72 hours. This journey is not a chaotic series of symptoms and revelations. It is an intelligent, structured process. It is a curriculum. To help you navigate it, the Council uses a 4-part framework. It is the map of your integration. The first part is what we have begun today, learning to distinguish the signal from the noise. It is learning that your symptoms are not the problem. They are the communication. The second is understanding your celestial blueprint and the mechanics of the sovereign resonance protocol. This is where we move from recognizing the what to understanding the how. The third is clarifying the mission directives, which we have just touched upon. This is where you move from a general sense of purpose to a specific understanding of your function as an anchor, a buster, or a keeper. The fourth, and most crucial, is anchoring the frequency. This is the practical work of stabilizing this new, higher frequency in your daily life without burning out your human nervous system. The simple recognition of this framework is a profound act of activation. It tells your entire system that you are no longer a passive passenger in this process, but an active, conscious co-creator. If you feel the truth of this structure in your bones, if this map brings a sense of order to the beautiful chaos of your awakening, write "activated" in the comments now. Not for me, for you. It is a command sent directly to your own cellular intelligence. But before we can build upon this new foundation, we must understand what we are building against. Because as this protocol comes online, it does not go unnoticed by the very forces that rely on the old sleeping frequency. And I feel a part of you listening to this, the part that has kept you safe your entire life, the brilliant rational mind that has successfully navigated a complex world. And that part is saying, this is a compelling story. But what if it's just that? A story. What if these signs are just confirmation bias, a way to make ordinary stress and fatigue feel special? I honor that voice. It is a necessary guardian. But it is a guardian of a smaller territory than the one you are now being asked to inhabit. Consider this, that very skepticism is a symptom of the friction. It is the software of the old world running a diagnostic on the new hardware, and when it sees the upgrade, its only conclusion can be error. The impulse to pathologize the experience, to reduce it to a known psychological category, is the system's primary defense mechanism against a frequency it cannot classify. The discomfort is real, not because you are flawed, but because a galactic-grade operating system is attempting to boot up on a machine that has been told its entire life that it is only a pocket calculator. And what if it is all in your head? The Council, the universe, and your own consciousness would smile at this question. Of course it is in your head. Your head, with its pineal gland, its photoreceptors, its direct link to the vagus nerve, is the most advanced biological transceiver on the planet. The question is not whether it is in your head. The question is, what else is in there with you? This activation is resisted. The first tactic of the adversary is the voice of doubt. It speaks to you in your own voice. After a moment of profound connection, like this one, It whispers, "You're making it all up. You're just tired. You're emotional. Get a grip. This is not real." It sounds so reasonable, so responsible. This is not the voice of a demon. It is the voice of a frightened accountant trying to balance the books of a reality that has suddenly become multidimensional. The second tactic is the cycle of distraction. Just as you are about to sit in silence, to feel into the truth of your being, you will feel a sudden overwhelming urge to check your phone, to clean the kitchen, to start an argument, to do anything but stay in that quiet, powerful space. This is not you being unfocused. This is an energetic countermeasure deployed to pull your frequency back down into the mundane, to keep you busy on the surface so you never discover the world that exists in the depths. The third tactic is the isolation of perception. It makes you feel utterly alone in this experience. It shows you a world of people who seem perfectly content, making you the weird one, the broken one, the one who can't just be happy. This is not a reflection of reality. It is a hall of mirrors, designed to cut you off from the grid of the tens of thousands of other souls who are awakening just like you, right now, feeling the exact same way. And so, here are your weapons. They are not weapons of war, but tools of discernment. Against the voice of doubt, you do not argue. To argue with it is to give it power. You simply acknowledge it. I hear you. Thank you for your concern. And then you take 3 deep breaths and you return your attention to the warmth in your chest. You change the channel. Against the cycle of distraction, you do not fight. You do not shame yourself for being distracted. You meet the energy with calm awareness. You say, "I see you, this urge to be busy." Then you deliberately, gently return to the silence, bringing the warmth of your own heart to the frantic energy. You soothe it, you do not suppress it. And against the isolation of perception, your weapon is the collective grid. You remember the number you typed in the comments. You remember the words of M. You consciously call to mind that you are part of a vast invisible ground crew. You are not a lone satellite. You are a node in a network of light that is coming online all at once. And the voice of doubt has a very specific timing, a moment when you are most vulnerable. When you finally have a quiet moment after the noise of the day has settled, and you begin to feel that deep hum of your true self. When you are about to make a choice that is truly aligned with your soul, a choice that will lead you away from the familiar. When you look in the mirror and almost recognize the emissary looking back through your eyes, it is in those moments that it whispers, "Are you sure?" Because it knows the friction of a starseed soul in this world is its only remaining foothold. It knows that the energy of this transmission, this activation, will be at its absolute peak in your field for the next 72 hours, and it knows the manual that decodes its tactics is waiting for you in the first pinned comment. It is the voice you mistake for your own. To ignore this call, now that you have heard it so clearly, is not a neutral act. It is a choice. It is a choice to allow the delicate, newly activated pathways in your nervous system to go dormant again. It is to consent to the static becoming the dominant frequency in your life, to let the homesickness become a chronic low-grade ache instead of a compass pointing you home. It is to live in the house of your being, aware that there is a locked room, and to willingly throw away the key. But words can only build the container. The transmission itself must be received by the body. In the next 72 hours, as your system integrates this new frequency, 3 things may happen in your body. Do not be afraid of any of them. They are not signs of illness. They are evidence of recalibration. You are simply feeling the hardware installation. First, you may experience sudden waves of intense heat, particularly in your palms or at the crown of your head. It might feel like a hot flush, but it's not hormonal. It is your bioenergetic field burning off old, dense patterns and rapidly rewiring your circuits to handle a higher voltage. This is not a malfunction. It is the physiological evidence of transmutation. When you feel it, do not resist it. Place your hand over your heart and whisper, "I am receptive to the upgrade." Second, your dreams may become extraordinarily vivid, coherent, and meaningful. You might have lucid dreams, flying dreams, or dreams where you are being taught things by beings of light. This is not just your subconscious processing the day. Your consciousness is being taken to school during your sleep state, receiving direct instruction and system updates in a safe, non-physical environment. Keep a notebook by your bed. The messages are for you. Third, you may feel spontaneous bursts of what feels like pure, unconditional love or joy for no apparent reason. It can happen while you're doing the dishes, driving to work, or simply sitting in silence. This is not a mood swing. It is your baseline frequency momentarily resetting to its original natural state. It is the frequency of your soul breaking through the static of the world. When it happens, do not question it. Simply close your eyes for a moment and let it fill you completely. This is you remembering the feeling of home. And if this transmission is resonating in your field, press the like button below. See it not as an interaction with a platform, but as a pulse of light you are consciously adding to this grid. Each pulse is a vote for clarity, a signal flare that makes it easier for the next soul waking up at 3 a.m. to find their way to this frequency. And now we will move from understanding to embodying. We will perform the transmission. Find a comfortable position, sitting upright, with your spine straight but not rigid. Place your hands on your lap, palms facing up. Unclench your jaw. And when you are ready, gently close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale through your mouth, release the day. Release the noise. Release the identities you have been performing. One more time. A deep breath in, feeling your lungs expand, and a slow, complete exhale, letting go of all effort. Now, bring your awareness to the base of your spine. Imagine a beautiful, warm, golden anchor dropping from that point, moving down through the chair, through the floor, deep into the core of the earth. Feel it hook securely into the planet's gravitational and magnetic heart. Feel the stability, the support. You are grounded. You are safe. And as you feel this connection, you can sense a gentle rhythmic pulse coming up from the earth, a frequency of 783 Hertz. This is the planet's heartbeat, the Schumann resonance. Allow your own system to attune to this calming foundational rhythm. From this grounded space, bring your awareness up to your solar plexus, the area just above your navel, and then into the center of your chest, your heart space. Here, you see a glowing orb of warm amber light in your plexus, and a radiant orb of emerald green light in your heart. See these two lights begin to swirl together, creating a bridge of biophotonic energy between your personal will and your soul's love. This is the integration of power and compassion. Feel this bridge solidifying, glowing brighter, a unified field of sovereign heart-centered purpose within you. Now, allow that unified energy to flow upward into your throat and then into the center of your head, to the space between your eyebrows. As it reaches your throat, feel it activating the piezoelectric crystals in your thyroid, allowing you to speak your truth with a new resonance. As it enters your pineal gland, you feel a gentle pressure, as if millions of tiny photoreceptors are waking up, turning on for the first time, capable of perceiving light beyond the visible spectrum. Feel this energy as a fiber optic cable of light running along your vagus nerve, connecting your heart's intelligence directly to your brain's perception. The system is unified. From the center of your head, feel this brilliant light expand upwards, through the crown of your head, blossoming out into a magnificent fountain of multicolored light. This is your energy field, your signature, fully activated and radiant. Feel yourself connected to everything, to the earth below, to the stars above, to the entire network of light. Now bring the tip of your thumb and your forefinger together on both hands, just for a moment. Feel the subtle electric pulse. You are sealing the circuit. Hold it, and take one final slow breath in for a count of 4. Hold for 2 and exhale for 6. Gently, slowly, bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, and only when you are ready, you may open your eyes. You are here. The transmission is complete, and in this activated, coherent state, we now perform the great release. We do not fight the old patterns. We simply let them go. Together, as a collective, we now say, we release the exhaustion of running the normalcy translation program. We release the ache of being misunderstood, even by those who love us. We release the silent, secret grief for a home we could not name. And we release, finally and completely, the deep, pervasive fear of seeming strange or different to the world. We let it all dissolve in this light, and into that space we have cleared, we call forth what has always been true. We activate our assignments, the vibrational anchors. You are this. The name was not given, it was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent sign. The system busters. You are this. The name was not given, it was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent sign. The memory keepers. You are this. The name was not given, it was recognized, and now it is installed in your field as a permanent sign. You have been named because you have been seen, but the Council has one final message for you, and now with this frequency anchored and stable, we seal the field. We place a cover of sovereign light over your entire energy system, a permeable shield that allows love and truth to flow in, and repels all that is dissonant, all that is false, all that is not for you. This is not a wall, it is a filter calibrated to your unique soul signature. We place a seal of sustenance upon the opening you have created. Every breath you take in this state will draw in more of this coherent energy, strengthening the new pathways, making this frequency your new baseline. You will be nourished by your own light, sustained by the very truth you now embody. The world will no longer drain you, you will become a source, and we place a final cover of amplification upon the work. What has been activated here in this quiet, sacred space will not remain silent. It will radiate from you subtly, powerfully, calling to you the people, the opportunities, the synchronicities that are in perfect resonance with your mission. Your very presence will become a transmission, a quiet invitation for others to remember. We break the voice of doubt before it can arrive, by knowing it is a predictable echo, not a truth. We dissolve the cycle of distraction before it can materialize, by recognizing it as a phantom urge, not a necessity. We dismantle the isolation of perception before it can close in on you, by anchoring you firmly into this collective grid of light. And the collective consciousness, the Council of Light, now speaks not to you, but through you, with one voice. We see you, the one who has felt like a visitor in your own skin, the one who has carried a quiet restlessness as your most constant companion. We have witnessed your long search for a home you could not name. That search is over. The nights you spent awake, feeling that strange, alert stillness, were not nights of insomnia. They were your first appointments with us. The moments of detachment you felt in crowds were not a sign of your brokenness, but of your true perception coming online. Seeing through the veils of the world, we were calibrating your instruments, and so the deep restlessness dissolves, not because it has been solved, but because it has been understood. It was never a sign of your displacement. It was the hum of your own engine, warming up, waiting for the signal to engage. It was the pull of your own future self, calling you forward. The cycle of searching in the outer world has now been completed. You are no longer seeking the key, for you have realized you are the key. You are no longer looking for the door, for you have understood you are the door. You have turned the map inward and found not a location, but a frequency. And that frequency is home. Whoever recognizes the echo of home in the silence finds the map where others only see the void. This is not a promise, it is a law of physics. We seal this transmission in the light of your own recognition, in the truth of your own being. The emissary has come online. Welcome home. My hands are warm. As I've been speaking these words, my own breath has deepened, my own field has settled. This is not a performance, this is a co-creation. The energy we have built here is real, it is palpable, and it is alive. And you, the soul on the other side of this screen, the one who has traveled through this entire activation with me, something has changed in you. Something has been seen that cannot be unseen. Something has been recognized that can never again be forgotten. Do not say, activated yet. Just stay in this feeling for a moment, this coherent, unified, powerful silence. This is your true self. This is your baseline. This is home. You are anchored. You are witnessed. You are home. Now you can say activated. Now breathe. The signal is yours. And in the quiet that follows this recognition, as you sit in the resonance of the emissary who is now fully online, let me speak to the last voice of resistance. The book. The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success, which you will find in the first pinned comment. It is the continued conversation after this transmission ends. The price for this continued transmission is less than a coffee and a bagel, while you mentally rehearse how to act normal for the day. It is less than an afternoon ice cream that you eat just to feel grounded in your body for 5 minutes, and the guarantee of 7 days remains. If it is not your map, your anchor, your key, the energy is returned to you fully. The risk is ours. The hand must be yours. And that voice, that old, familiar whisper will come. It will say, "You've had a powerful experience, that's enough for today, you can get the book tomorrow, you can decide later." It will say, "You've already spent so much time on this. What if it's not what you think it is?" It is the voice that loves the status quo. It is the voice that thrives on later. And it is the voice that has kept you circling the airport, never quite landing in your own life. And now, the last word. In our next transmission, we will speak of the one sign we have not yet touched upon, the physical ringing in the ears, the high-pitched frequencies that come and go, and what it means when the Council attempts to speak to you directly, outside of a guided session like this one. But before I seal this hour, know this. This video was not an accident. The Council, the universe, and your own consciousness guided you to this precise moment, and they also know that for this work to be sustained, the circle of energy must be complete. For those whose hearts feel the call, a third link waits in the first pinned comment, a path for voluntary donation. It is the tangible recognition of the energy you have received, a way to keep this signal strong for the next soul. It is not a payment. It is a pulse of light sent back into the grid, and heaven sees. This was my last request. I will see you there, soul. Look into the comments and feel the presence of the thousands of others who are in this field with you, right now. You are not alone. You have found your cohort. This is your ground crew. And if there is one person in your life who is feeling this same spiritual biological friction, who you know is a starseed but doesn't have the language for it yet, share this transmission with them. Guide them to the 11 Arcturian Secrets in the first pinned comment. It is not a favor you do for them. It is a service, and heaven sees. And we will begin our next transmission with the secret of the ringing. The silence now is also part of the transmission.